1. The wind howled outside the secluded cabin as a group of friends settled in for a weekend ski trip. The snow fell heavily, creating a thick blanket of white that covered the surrounding forest. The group laughed and joked as they unpacked their gear, excited for the adventure ahead. As night fell, the group gathered around the crackling fire, sharing stories and sipping hot cocoa. But as the fire died down and the cabin grew colder, an uneasy feeling settled over them. It was then that they heard a faint scratching at the door. At first they dismissed it as the wind, but the scratching grew louder and more insistent. One brave soul approached the door and cautiously opened it, only to reveal nothing but darkness and swirling snow. As they settled back around the fire, the scratching continued, now coming from all sides of the cabin. Panic set in as they realized they were not alone in the wilderness. Shadows moved in the darkness outside, and eerie whispers filled the air. Suddenly, one of the friends screamed as a figure emerged from the shadows, its eyes glowing with malice. It was a creature unlike anything they had ever seen, its twisted form a grotesque mix of human and beast. The group scrambled to barricade the doors and windows, but it was too late. The creature broke through, its claws slashing through the air as it lunged towards them. In a desperate bid for survival, they fought back with whatever weapons they could find, but the creature seemed invincible. As the night wore on, the group dwindled in number, each friend falling victim to the creature's relentless attacks. In the end, only one remained, huddled in a corner as the creature closed in for the final kill. Just as all hope seemed lost, a blinding light filled the cabin, banishing the creature back into the darkness from whence it came. The survivor stumbled out into the snow, shaken but alive, vowing never to return to that cursed place again. And so, the ski trip horror story became a cautionary tale whispered around campfires for years to come, a reminder of the dangers that lurk in the shadows of the mountains. As the survivor made their way through the snow-covered forest, they couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. The events of that night haunted their dreams, and they found themselves constantly looking over their shoulder, fearing that the creature might return. The days turned into weeks, and the survivor tried to put the horrifying experience behind them. They returned to their normal life, but the memories of that fateful ski trip lingered like a dark cloud over their every thought. One night, as a storm raged outside, the survivor awoke to the sound of scratching at their window. Heart pounding, they cautiously approached and peered outside, only to see nothing but the swirling snow and shadows dancing in the wind. But the scratching continued, growing louder and more insistent. Panic gripped the survivor as they realized that the creature had found them once again. They rushed to lock all the doors and windows, but it was no use. The creature's presence filled the room with a suffocating sense of dread. Just as before, the creature emerged from the darkness, its twisted form illuminated by flashes of lightning. It advanced towards the survivor with malevolent intent, its eyes burning with a hunger that sent shivers down their spine. In a desperate bid for survival, the survivor fought back with all their strength, but the creature seemed impervious to their attacks. It was as if it were a being from another world, a manifestation of pure evil that defied all logic and reason. As the storm raged on outside, the survivor and the creature engaged in a deadly dance of survival and terror. Each blow struck by the survivor seemed to have little effect, while the creature's claws tore through the air with deadly precision. The survivor collapsed to the floor, gasping for breath, their body battered and bruised. But as they looked up, they saw that the creature was gone, banished once again by their sheer force of will. And so the survivor vowed to never again let fear rule their life. They would carry the memory of that ski trip horror story with them always, a reminder of the darkness that dwells in the hearts of men and beasts alike. But they would also carry with them the knowledge that